Call the meeting to order. Okay, let's do pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, roll call.
Hey, Elizabeth, can I interrupt you for just a second?
Sure.
I got a text from Matt Mitchell. He's having trouble with the link.
Okay.
Let me email it to him. I'm just trying to make sure he can join.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we'll keep, okay, Lori, okay. Thank you. Meg Quinn, Elizabeth Ricketson,
Joshua Harris.
Maya.
Hold on, let me. Maya.
Okay, and then we also have Jake, and then we're thinking we're probably getting Matt here in just a second. So. There you go. There you go. Need it? Yeah. Okay, next up is approval of agenda. So do I have a motion for the approval of agenda? A motion. Lori motions.
Second.
Jake seconds. Agenda's approved?
Aye.
Okay, aye. All right, and then the minutes from the January 13th meeting, I sent one small correction on the date. It was like December 20, actually, it was like the December meeting, you put 2025.
Yeah.
So with that change, any motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay,
I second it.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so those are approved with the one minor change. Okay, yay, we got Matt now. So everybody's here, thank you. Okay, all right, new business. So we have our report from the council liaison. Okay, Jake. Take it away.
All right, I am here. Sorry, I don't know what my video is doing, but hopefully you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can.
I don't have a major update today. There have been a lot of back and forth emails with the adjacent property owner on the layout. I think that is coming to a conclusion, but that is not certain yet. So we are moving forward, and I think we will have a final answer on what, if any, linking between the two properties is going to be possible. Once that is determined, we will begin working on the layout in specific to fit whatever units are going to fit given the road in and out that we will have. So that's really the big one for me for right now as we continue working forward on the developer. I'm hoping you guys are getting closer on some lists and questionnaires for the vendor selection process, but for now that's what I've got. Is the developer still in the works, but I think it's coming to an end soon.
And what, just remind us, which adjacent property are we talking about? North, south, or west?
This would be the one to the east of our property, the frontage road 434 between Alpine and Zeb's.
East or to the
That's
north?
to the south.
Well,
it's-
no, it's technically due east of our property because our property wraps around.
Okay, so due east of the, okay, well, to me, east is across the street, so I don't know. But maybe I have things wrong.
But our property, other than the easement that goes between Alpine and Zeb's, is the 4 acres immediately to the west of Zeb's. So there is one lot on the east side of our property boundary between 434 and our property and between Alpine and Zeb's. It is that piece of dirt that is being
The one
considered.
that's under contract.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's, okay. Okay.
How big a lot is that? It seems very small.
It's maybe 2 acres. I don't have the exact measurement, but it is a smaller frontage road lot.
Okay.
Okay, too big. Okay. Okay, all right, so just FYI too, for tomorrow's agenda for the council, there's 2 things tomorrow for agenda. One is if anybody wanted to attend the discussion about Liberty Square, they're having a work session, I think, is that at 3 o'clock or 3:30 tomorrow? Tuesday.
The work session is at 3, the council meeting to follow at 5:30.
Okay, and then at 5:30, one of the agenda items is the budget for the workforce housing. So if anybody also wants to attend, that might be good to attend. So I'll be
So-
there.
Say the
I
times
can give you
Go ahead.
I can give you guys a little preview. This is simply a budget item that the village has put together for all workforce housing funds. This is where, monies will flow into and out of. It is also places where, if you recall, the village changed its permitting structure on fees to allow for some more monies on each single family build to pump additional funds into the workforce housing fund. So we're going to go through essentially the preliminary budget on what is the workforce housing fund, essentially monies that are in there, monies that will be continuing to go into there. So this is just a budgetary review. We're not looking necessarily for recommendations, but hey, just to let everyone know, here's where we're tracking this and here's what's in there currently.
Okay.
Who's gonna present that item?
I will be presenting that item, Rocky.
You will take, okay.
Okay,
Yes.
what time are the meetings?
that's 5:30.
Okay. And what's the 29th?
Nothing on the 29th.
Oh, you sent out a thing,
I did?
you got it from, thank you, Elliot.
Oh, I
A meeting at 3 on the 29th.
thought that was tomorrow, the 27th, the Liberty Square meeting from Santos.
Yeah,
Isn't that tomorrow? Tomorrow. It's the
Oh.
27th.
28th. Today is the 27th.
Oh, okay,
today's the
sorry.
27th,
Sorry.
got the date wrong.
and it was the 29th. Yeah, okay, so
Oh,
it's the
okay.
28th.
28th. So I'm wrong too. Okay.
Okay, so 3 o'clock and 5:30.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, so next item is the review and vote on the committee charter. So we had reviewed, people were supposed to review via email, then Rocky made some updates.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of us applied via email on those. So I just want to, if any comments on the committee charter before we take a vote? Not here, not
No.
here. Maya or Matt? Nope. Okay, so let's make a motion to vote on accepting the committee charter.
Make a motion to accept the committee charter.
Okay,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so
Do we need a roll call on that one or? No, good.
so then,
It's on the agenda tomorrow.
okay, so that's also going to the agenda for them to approve. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so good. Okay, then, next item was the discussion of the vendor matrix, which I do not have a printout of. But we had also circulated, basically, this was just round one questions. And, I think we got some feedback on that, and then you made some updates.
Well, no, I gathered all of the vendors that you all sent me.
Okay.
And I sent a questionnaire out to those.
Okay,
I did not see Champion and I thought I expected to see that.
Jake, I don't remember, I don't know, I mean, I forwarded everything I had kept
Yeah.
in my email, but
I compiled the list on
let
the
me.
document and sent it to you as the
Yeah,
correct.
Jake had mentioned he was working with Champion.
Champion. Let's see.
Yeah,
search.
Rocky, sorry, they should be on the list. We'll have to go back and figure that out.
Okay,
Here is one I have on July 30th. Let's see if this is it. From Ryan Mast.
I don't recall the
So-
name.
Ryan Mast is with Sustainability Partners. They have previously gone and vetted
Okay.
Champion Homes separately, but let me see, Rocky, if I can find you contact info for them. I'm just gonna have to dig back through my emails to locate it.
Okay, yeah, because I just did a search in my email on Champion, and the one that came up was both SP and Champion Homes are available to further discuss, and that's from Ryan, and that's the only thing I seem to have.
Okay, well then maybe I
Say
did
that.
include it. Just
Okay.
didn't- Just implied.
Oh, wait, what's this one? This one's from 7:30. This is. Oh, same thing, okay. Okay.
Then Lori sent me one more.
Yeah, but I haven't contacted them.
That's okay, I did though.
Okay,
I contacted them and I went ahead and sent them the questionnaire.
okay. Okay, so you sent the questionnaire, they're expected to have responses back by February 10th,
So,
February 7th, okay? And then
Hey.
we'll, go ahead.
Rocky, I was just because I'm at my email here. Everything I have in reference to Champion is from Ryan Massett Sustainability Partners. However, I believe the mayor has the contact information for them directly because he actually visited their site. So if you could reach out to BJ and get their contact info that way, I'm not finding it here. Everything is secondhand via Ryan in my email address.
will do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And so we'll get some responses back and then do we need to have a work session to review those? And that might be the best thing for us to
I think
just
so.
concentrate on that, have to kind of review those and then decide also we need to make a decision about what our next set of questions will be. And we still have some notes from that about things like heating options, foundation options, snow load, insulation, you know,
Yeah.
if there's anything.
Installation, all that.
So why don't we, like, for that, we can set up a work session. It can still be in the evenings after people get off work, but, we can just do that and kind of spend an hour going through the responses. So, why don't we tentatively pick a date and just, and hopefully we have all the responses we need by then.
You said the 7th in the letter.
Okay, so if we have time to, like, if we get those back in the 7th and we get those out to everyone emailed to do some preliminary reading, maybe we can meet like on the 11th or 12th. Maybe by the 12th, which is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Would that work?
Yeah.
That's okay. So that's 2 weeks from now anyway. And that way, and then when is usually the next council meeting would be the
The
11th.
second Tuesday.
So that would be the 11th. So, well, I don't know that we would have anything to report back to them, would we, other than,
Not yet.
no. So I think the 12th will be fine.
Unless you can meet before.
Okay. And then, I mean, we could try to meet before, but I'm just worried about if they get all the responses back on the 7th. As long as we get those to us, then we'd have the weekend. You know,
Or you could review them at the work session too.
yeah.
On Monday.
But if we did the Monday work session and then, but I think what it would be is we just gotta have our next, we might have it culled down to 3. And then the next level of questions that we would want to send out would be what our work session would come down to.
That's right, and we wouldn't need council for that.
We wouldn't need it. So I mean, if y'all are good with the 10th, 11th or 12th, whichever one y'all think works better. I feel like I want the 10th just in case they get responses after everybody leaves the office on Friday. So we may not even get them till Monday, you know, just by chance.
Is the room?
Not that you don't check your email, but you know what I mean. Huh?
Is the room available on the 12th?
I don't know, I'm not clerk anymore.
Okay, we can ask Ileana when it's, because
I can look at my calendar.
okay, so maybe
We're good
11th
for
or
the
12th, 11th or 12th would be fine. For y'all, is everybody available on 11th or 12th? Yeah, okay, all right. So we'll do vendor review and round 2 and round 2 matrix, round 2 questions. Okay. Wait for Robert to come back, we'll go to the next step. Yeah, and I think everybody has all the documents that I've been sent, so I will just double check and make sure that I sent anything that they've attached, you know, so we can look through those again.
Yeah, morning of the 11th is good. And the afternoon of the 12th is good,
So,
from 10 o'clock. on.
okay, let's do the 12th then.
Okay.
12th at our normal time, I guess
5:30.
5:30 would be fine. Okay. Okay. All right, so that takes care of that item. Okay, now 5:30ish, does that work for you?
12th, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, governance document, Rocky, you kind of found out that maybe legal didn't have that after all?
They didn't, never
Okay.
got submitted.
Okay,
It was, it's our
just an
fault.
oversight, okay. So do they have it now?
Yes.
You think? Okay, so, and do they have any kind of ETA when they might look at it or,
I don't have any ETA of that.
okay. All right, so,
We did put a rush on it,
okay.
but legal doesn't take rushes.
Okay.
We do.
Okay,
You
Well,
wanna
hopefully
call
we'll-
it every other day.
yeah, I think the biggest rush thing is gonna be, once we get this. I know we talked about last time about the lottery process and we'll get that put in, but we don't even have anything specifically set yet related to application processes, and so we need to put that on an agenda at some point and talk about, vetting, maybe doing some RFPs out to, or request for information out to some property management companies that may, and plus the internal, I think Brett had an idea that maybe we would have somebody on site and do the management, but here's my concern about that, Jake. I just want to log that. I don't mind having somebody on site who is kind of the maintenance and maybe they collect the rent and all that. But if they get to decide who their applicants are, I'm not sure that's the best process because then it may be, unless they're fully vetted by the, I want to make sure that they follow all of our governance and not just, and that they're making sure that the applicants meet all the criteria. So,
I gave you money under the table.
well, I just don't want them to say, oh, well, I can, it's a buddy of mine. I mean, I don't know. I guess that could happen even in any position, but, so,
I am the contact for the grant, and the grant
Okay.
does specify criteria for who's the occupants are.
right,
And so I might be able to help in that,
okay,
whether it's a deliverable or something that he provides to me,
okay.
and then I can present it to the council,
Okay.
to the committee or something. I don't
Yeah.
know, something of that.
We
nature.
need an application process. We've
Right.
got, all we said in the governance document was that
Yeah.
we need to have an application process and we need to consider how that's gonna be managed.
And at
So-
that time, we'll need an application, actually. You guys will be involved with that, I'm sure.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like if we had a property management person and they had the criteria and all we did, or whoever the village council property manager is, was check the box and say, yes, they meet the criteria, then I feel like the workforce housing committee should only be looking at exceptions to present to council. I mean, I don't know that we should have the authority to say, yes, this person's good and not, because we're not property managers, I mean, some of us are realtors, but that's not our purview necessarily of
We're
long-term
not the
leases.
property managers for this, that is a
Right,
separate thing, and I
Right.
absolutely agree with you.
right, so,
That
Well-
decision-making power needs to be with them, or if we need to knock
Yeah.
something up to council as exceptions,
right,
okay, but
Well, it's an interesting scenario because, the workforce housing project doesn't really have a department. It's really
Right.
this committee
right, true,
and Jake is the liaison,
right.
me as a project, manager, director, whatever.
Mhm.
So, at the time that we're looking at a property manager, we're probably looking at establishing a department at that time.
Okay.
And that might iron out some of the
Yeah,
flow
who-
through the, who that person reports to or whatever.
Right, they
that
take
kind
the
of thing.
applications, they do the
Right,
credit,
and
whatever.
that might kind of resolve that piece by
Okay.
its own, because we're eventually gonna need, we have a budget, but now, eventually we have to tie it to a department.
Right,
We don't have one now.
okay, okay.
If we go with that sustainability company, didn't they want to manage it also?
That's one of the, I think so,
That is, they'll manage
Yeah.
the actual units themselves,
yeah,
they'll manage the units themselves.
which would probably include the maintenance of them.
Right,
So,
but they
okay,
still wouldn't do what a property manager would do.
right,
As far as
just making the decision,
applications, that kind of thing.
right,
Making sure that they're
almost like the leasing
employed, that
agent.
kind of thing.
Yep, right, okay. Okay, so hopefully we'll get the governance document back from legal. Within the next month or so, maybe in the next month, hoping. Okay, all right, so now our next item was, lottery process. So Megan, you were gonna
yeah, I don't
look at that?
have a whole lot to report yet because I've wrote up an email and I sent that out to a number of municipalities in Colorado.
Okay,
We have Crescent Butte, and Telluride, Vail, Steamboat Springs, just a number of places that have workforce housing. I've been looking on their websites. Everyone uses a lottery process. That seems to be very much the established
Okay.
thing. And they all seem to, I mean, they have resorts that have employee housing, right? But everyone who's got a municipal setup like we're looking at
Mhm.
does have a person or department within that municipality
Okay.
that is executing these things. And a lot of them have as well, not just lotteries for rental housing, but lotteries for developers. Get a if you make 5% or 10% of your development at workforce housing prices, then you get special bonuses for your development. So they have like the list of we did the lottery and these 100 people applied and here's the top 2 people that actually got to purchase. It's very interesting. So
Yeah,
as I get some responses back, hopefully
Okay.
next meeting I'll make more detailed report.
okay. Would you mind sharing a couple of those websites so we can kind of, you could just do our own little background update?
Yeah, but can I see it on my email that?
Yeah,
I'll
later.
email that to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be good. And that would be good also for like Jake and Rocky to have too, because
Yeah.
then as they start
Yes.
looking at it for setting up the.
I'd like to see how successful they are. Sounds like they are if they're all,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
Well,
so that could be a pipeline to some developers as well.
Okay. Yeah,
great.
okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
nice.
I'm excited about it. We were kind of like, is that the right process? That certainly seems to be
That's
the
what
process
people are
everybody
doing.
uses
Seems to
and.
be fair. It might eliminate some of the partialism you might get from.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly,
that's-
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I think that really helps to eliminate that, and it's administered by the municipal department that's in charge of the workforce housing,
Okay,
but it's a lottery. So it's very removed from any,
Yeah.
it seems removed from any favoritism
Yeah, that's
or
good.
their concerns about that.
it'd be interesting to see if they prioritize certain things like medical personnel, medical, fire and police. And kind of give them an up before selecting the lottery, I don't know, but that's a
Yeah.
good question.
That was one of the
That's a good
questions I had in my email. So.
Okay, all right, great, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, great, we'll look at, that's great that we have some other examples to go from.
We're not trying to create the wheel. We're
Right,
not having to create the wheel.
thank
We have
goodness.
some
Yeah.
Folks who
Probably got some
are
good
way down the
examples.
road
Mhm.
on this,
You
so,
probably have some examples too.
yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so, any other questions related to that? From anyone? No? Okay. All right, so internal survey results. Matt, do you have anything new on that?
I don't have
Probably
much
some-
new. We still haven't received any more answers that we didn't already have last time I shared it with you. I did take a closer look at the types of units people wanted. So there were, among the responses, 3-bedroom unit is the most common. There were 10 responses that asked for that, followed by 2-bedroom unit. There were 5. Studio was 2 and other was 3. I don't know what the other would be. And then this is kind of predictable, but when we asked, what kind of housing would people prefer, single family home was the big winner at 15. Everything else was like 2 or 3 or 1. So modular manufactured home was only 1. Not the most popular option. But I did send that note out to Brett. And I am now seeing he did reply and asked for a flyer, but I don't have the flyer. Do you guys have the flyer? Do you remember?
we have a flyer, but it's not, this is for the non-internal. We don't,
Yeah, we
you know,
didn't do any kind of flyer for the village.
Yeah,
The only
just-
thing we did was a separate QR code. I don't think we generated a flyer for the internal only.
Right, we didn't. So I think we just need to send Brett that QR code again and have him forward that. But you're saying on so the internal one, we still had like what it was, 33, 35 responses. Also on the external employee one as well, no new responses to that one either. Cause I did do, Shay did do another social media blast for that. And I noticed that the flyer was no longer at Rocky's Market, so I can walk over there and put it up there again unless we took it down on, you didn't
Yes.
take it down?
No,
Okay. So I'll put it back up there.
it's not the best billboard, you know?
I know, it's like you never, and I never know who cleans it up, but I'll walk over there before I leave tonight and put one back up. And you took them to the hardware stores, right? Okay.
And I tried to get a hold of the McGee's and texted, called.
Okay,
I did get a couple other people to fill it out.
okay, okay,
Some of my new guys and then, Jeremy Ratcliffe next door.
okay,
His guys are supposed to do it tomorrow.
okay. So I'd be interested to see, so the numbers that you gave us, Matt, that was the internal one for the village employees?
Correct, yeah.
And then for the external one,
What was the total number again, Matt?
For
responsible,
village employees,
Yes, sir.
we have,
30, yeah, 32, 35.
yeah, 31 responses.
okay,
Less than half. So the QR code hasn't been sent to Brett yet?
well, we'd sent it
To send
to him before, but I guess he asked for the flyer, we could send it to him again,
To address the other employees that aren't responding.
yeah,
Okay.
send that again, so we could ask him to do that,
He was here a while ago.
yeah.
Who's gonna do that?
Matt, can you send that to him again?
Sure.
Code, okay. All right, then for external, we had, what, 35-ish?
And let's see, actually, external, we do have a few more than we didn't have before. Looks like, a bunch since January 13th. So in the last 10 or 15 days, there have been more than I realized. So we're up to 50 responses for external.
That's good. Okay.
Employees or employers?
No,
No, these are
outside.
employees. Yeah.
Employees,
Okay.
but not village.
Okay, good. I think there were a couple on there that responded that they worked for the Village of Angel Fire, so we may have just a couple of, overlaps. That's not a big deal, but,
Right.
we can deal with that. And then is it easy to look at what their count was there as well? I mean, based on so far what I'm hearing is 17 there, and then I'd be interested to hear, units and then number of units from the external. 30 might be good to start with for sure. And then after that, we'll have to see how much, then I think we would judge round 2, maybe or maybe it's round 3, because I think I'm gonna do 10 first and then the rest. And then maybe round 2 would be based more on the number of applicants we have in the lottery. So. The other, back on that lottery process, I know that Red River was building some workforce housing. I don't know if that was internal to the resort or if it was just the village. Do you have any idea?
I don't, I spoke with someone who was talking about
Calhoun?
repurposing the helipad
Right,
that they have there.
yeah,
Oh.
they're developing that area.
That it's
I'm
about
looking
a
to
6
research on
six-
Red River situation too.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 to 8 acre piece but it's very early stages and they were very interested in our project. To see
Okay,
how we moved it along or are moving it along so quickly.
okay. Yeah, because I thought when I read I think it was the lady she might be the mayor,
Yeah,
Calhoun.
Linda Callahan.
Lujan, felt like the article that I read, like they were getting ready to start building, so I don't, maybe that wasn't, I interpreted that wrong, but
So,
anyway.
so they have another project that they're getting ready to bring out of the ground. The first phase they did for workforce housing was converting some old motels into apartments. And they have been renting those to firefighters and town marshals, is my understanding. And that was
Okay.
where the idea of subsidizing some of these rents came from, because Red River is doing that for village employees at some of those housing options.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we got some more responses. That's pretty good, I think, for, um. All right, so what I would recommend is at our next meeting, okay, so Matt's gonna send the QR code to Brett again, try to get one more pass there. I'll go put this up at the thing. I have a couple more copies if anybody thinks someplace to put those at. Okay. I know that we had, Maya had reached out and got the resort to get all those responses done. So, yeah, I think we could maybe hang up, I might ask the Chamber of Commerce if they would mind putting one up on the inside, on that one, right inside the Central Plaza. So I can I'll check on that too. Okay. And then really just that was our agenda. So really the next item is just to set our action items, which is we're gonna meet on the 11th and on the 12th at 5:30 for vendor review. We just went through the action items for the survey. And Megan, you were gonna send out just some links just for us, kind of FYI. Is there anything else that we need to do next? I think we need to think about, I don't want to get too ahead of it, but I think we do need to consider what we're gonna do for a leasing agent / property management. So maybe we need to start thinking about that.
Do you want to just kind of discuss it at the work session?
Yeah, let's put that on there to discuss maybe like what our process might be for looking into that. Maybe Lori or Maya, one of you two, can do a little research on the property management companies that are here or in, the surrounding area. I think your lottery process will tell us what other municipalities are doing,
Yeah.
but then we might just look at, because I know, like Resort Properties of Angel Fire, they have a very short list of long-term rentals that they do. They do more as a courtesy more than a
Yes.
big moneymaker. Brenda's
We do
property
the same in the
management.
resort.
Yeah,
We don't, it's not a large part
most
of our
of these
business.
people, I don't.
I'm familiar with some of them.
okay. Maybe you can just give
So
a
yeah,
list.
I can work on that.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Okay. That way we can kind of start thinking about it.
And what I'll do is as I get those sites, set up in an email for the link, I'll look at the sites specifically to see what they do about the PM piece, and I'll highlight that as well.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
How would you like to handle maybe an update on the current process, the environmental survey and that kind of thing? Would you like an update from me, or
Oh.
Jake, would you like to give that update, or?
That would be great. Right now, that'd be great.
It's not on the
Yeah,
agenda.
Rocky, I think, you obviously tackling this would be great, and in the future, potentially the council liaison update is probably gonna be more and more a Rocky update.
Okay,
I'm doing the things that are not on Rocky's wheelhouse, like the developer stuff, so he's gonna be the one I think we need to track through more than me. I'll certainly be here for input and questions and answers, but it might be good to swap for the next meeting.
okay, that'd be good.
I have one question, Jay. Is there anywhere in the budget that you've considered a property manager that will be employed by the village?
So yes, those discussions have been very preliminary. I've had with the mayor and village manager, and honestly, we're not sure which way is better to go. It may be that it makes more sense for us to start with the property manager because we don't have an extra head count of a person who just needs, 20 more hours a week of workload. Like we have the opposite problem. We need more employees. So I think if we can find someone and their job description is say 50% accounting and 50% leasing agent for the Village of Angel Fire, then we would, bring that in-house. But until that person exists, I think we will very seriously consider a property management option instead of.
Can I get one?
Yes, ma'am.
So all the local ones are short-term mostly, right?
I think there's a couple of long terms. I think Maya can find out. Well, since we had a report from council liaison, could we consider the environmental / site update part of that, or do we need to just wait and do it as part of our work session? If there's any, I mean, I'm okay if you just give us a quick update and then we'll,
I can do
then-
that.
okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay, so we hired Dennis Engineering to do the environmental study of the
Okay.
property. He didn't have that direct expertise, so he's subcontracted with another contractor to do that environmental study.
Okay.
Since then, HUD has also recently asked for a biological study. They want to know what animals are residing in that property, what plant life is on that property. The subcontractor for Dennis Engineering has offered to give HUD a list of the plant life and the animal life that's on the property. And so far, HUD seems to be okay with that.
Okay,
At first, they were naming certain mice and certain things and all that. And I was like, we could add that, but it was gonna add another $1,700 to the contract.
okay,
But being that the subcontractor can at least give you a list of the animals and the plant life on that property, that seems to suffice so far. We may still have to approach that a different way, but so far it's gonna be within our contract. Dennis Engineering has now added an amendment to that contract, which is presented at the council tomorrow for approval, for him to continue the civil engineering part on that property. This is the infrastructure for the roads, for the building structure, not the site plan, but basically the utilities and the roadways and that kind of thing. We provided him, Dennis Engineering, with two variations of site plans from our architect.
okay,
So the architect has provided us a couple site plans. We haven't fully committed to them yet because we're still waiting to decide how many 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, all that before we can really nail down a site plan.
okay,
So at this point, the environmental study is going on.
okay, great.
However, they ran into a little bit of another snag. And this is something that we just can't avoid, can't ignore. It's snow.
Oh, yeah. You only do so much when there's snow on the ground.
They require 80% of the property to be exposed before they can do the environmental study.
Okay.
So for a while there was snow. Did it melt over the last couple of days? Maybe.
Comes
Is the
back.
environmental person there at that particular time doing the study? Maybe.
Okay.
Do we have snow coming tomorrow? Yes. So that's just delaying things, it's frustrating because we just don't know if the 60 days is gonna turn into 5 months or something.
Right.
So, but that's the reality of that situation right now.
Okay.
So,
That's good. So,
but we're still gonna move on with the amendment contract, assuming that the council approves it tomorrow. So you can work on the infrastructure.
so the environmental site and the biological survey, is that normal process for a development site that's gonna have more than like 4 houses on it or something?
It's normal for HUD.
Normal for HUD, okay.
It's a HUD requirement
And that's,
because of the grant.
okay.
If we
okay,
didn't have the grant, we wouldn't be having to go through this.
Okay,
And Jake and I had this discussion early on. If they were only gonna give us $100,000 or something, we were
Yeah.
kind of saying, well, why would we gonna take $100,000 and have to wait for 90 days for this? We was
Right.
not take it. But anyway, we got $2.4 million.
okay, good,
Right.
okay,
And so the budget that's being approved tomorrow is really gonna help because that'll be the placeholder to track all of the expenses that we're spending now. For Dennis Engineering, for the architect, for the subcontractor, because when we're approved environmentally, we can submit those for reimbursement.
oh, okay. So we don't get like the money from the grant, they don't just hand us over to you?
No, it's
You
a
have to-
reimbursement,
it's a reimbursement
yeah,
process,
yeah.
okay,
Well, there might be some monies that we can spend after that, but we can't do anything until the environmental is done.
okay, I see, okay. All right, good,
What we're spending, we're doing what we can.
we're doing what we can,
Under
very
the
good. I mean, I'm
the
excited to
paperwork.
hear it's going, that's the big thing is that we're not just talking about it, we're actually taken actions and moving forward on it, that's great, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're good. We have our agenda set for next time. Do you want to just summarize and then we can?
So our work session is going to be on Wednesday, February 12th. We're going to do a vendor review. We're going to do kind of brainstorm and get a new matrix going for the round 2 of once we get the vendors narrowed down. And we can discuss the lottery things. I'll send that info out to y'all and we'll discuss. And then we'll also discuss possible process for finding property management.
Okay. I do remember one other thing. Laura, you had a question about, do we need to do another whole housing study? That, Santos has this new questionnaire that he wants us to kind of work on, which we should add that to. I need to check with Santos on when that's gonna be due. Do you have any idea, Jake, when that new grant stuff is due from Santos?
I do not. That is a new program that is far more generous from a funding perspective. And so that's why Santos has targeted it is, hey, this is a much better way to partner with a developer. Obviously, the other thing there is the Roundhouse is in session right now. They're modifying, they're tweaking, they're changing things. So I think it's fine to reach out to him and let him know, hey, we've got this work session. Are there documents or questions that he can feed into us to look at then?
Okay,
Yeah,
So-
I think we needed to add more to our survey that we're doing is the question.
yeah. Well, let's just see if maybe we can have maybe an update from, or a Q&A with Santos on the new housing grants, if he's available on that work session. Just so that we can kind of prepare for that, because it does have more money in it, and we talked about this last time, including money to do potentially refurbish that one building for that. Yeah, so anyway,
I can talk to Santos too. I mean,
Okay, that'd be great.
grants is one of my responsibilities.
Sure.
I just didn't know about this.
and even if he can't come, if you can talk to him
Yeah.
and we can get an update from you from related to that, I'll forward you what he sent me.
I'll find out if
Okay.
Brett wants me to get involved with that or.
Okay,
Yeah, and I think too, we're in the process of, we've done these surveys. And so we've gotten initial information, but now as we get more into the actual applications, that's gonna give us the concrete information for execution.
right.
So we've got an idea of, okay, this is how much we need to start.
Mhm,
And so we'll be getting a lot of really hard data
mhm.
as well.
Right,
As we
exactly.
go through the process.
Okay,
Does Matt and Maya need to email it to you?
we just need to hand it to her. Oh,
I can give it, put it in her desk.
we need to get Maya and, so I'll just fill this in for you. This is Ileana wanted us to reconfirm our committee members and their voting status, so, I'll fill it in for you. Maya, remind me how you spell your last name? L-I-N-G?
Lengerich.
And your address?
PO Box, or did I need the street address?
Well, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. You can do either one. I did.
Doesn't matter.
I
PO
did
Box
both.
1689.
Okay. And then your phone number?
575.
I'll have those in the email if you don't want that on the village recording. I have those in email. Okay, and you're a voting
Okay.
member?
Redacted.
Okay, and then Matt, if you just have your address and I'll.
So PO Box is 249.
And that's Angel Fire and you're a voting member, and we have your phone number in our, yeah, so I'll fill that in, and that way we don't have to have them on the phone. So, okay.
Can I ask if there's any issues with this?
No, we didn't, we're all voting members, so we all
Yeah,
live here, we're all
This
voting members.
committee doesn't have any issues.
Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's
I
it.
have some
I mean,
others.
I almost responded like that, and I was like, well, I don't want to get into this conversation.
Yeah, no.
Email throw. I was like, never mind.
I was just like.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I know.
we're all good,
Okay.
unless somebody's living out of we're all, I mean, I think because this is a new committee, We knew
Yeah.
that we had to be local and that the village had to approve and all
Yeah.
that, so I don't know.
It's great that we have locals making decisions for our
Right.
facilities.
Okay, all right, well, I think we're all done, so meeting adjourned? All right.